Hello, I'm Steve Nunn, President and CEO of the Open Group. Welcome to Toolkit Tuesday, where we highlight the various components and leading experts of the Architect's Toolkit, a collated portfolio of the most pertinent technology standards for enterprise architects. During the series, I'll be calling on a number of recognized experts who will bring their particular insights on how to most effectively use the various tools in the Architect's Toolkit. We'll have a mix of interviews, panel sessions, and pre-recorded presentations along the way. While all standards of the Open Group are designed so they can be adopted independently of one another, the greatest value for an organization can be derived when they're used in unison. The sum of the parts should be greater than the whole. In the Architect's Toolkit, we have collated a portfolio of the most pertinent ones for architects together all in one place. For most of these tools, certification from the Open Group is also available, so practitioners can demonstrate that they have the skills required and recruiters can take the guesswork out of the recruitment process, all backed up by our Open Badges program.
Humans ruin your estate. If it wasn't for humans in your IT estate, everything would be fine is something I used to say as a bit of a joke. Turns out, whilst I still think there is some truth to the line, AI is not only trying to ape our responses, it is also aping our worst habits as humans. What do I mean by that? Well, humans do three things that create IT estate issues. At least three, that is. They hoard stuff. We are the magpies of data. They build walls and barriers to keep things both in and out and cannot stop building silos as a result. They repeat and they repeat and they repeat, creating code repeatedly that already exists somewhere else, at least in part, and does the same thing somewhere else. I'm sure you can all identify some other human habit or trait that ruins IT. These bad habits and more, though, have all been exacerbated by AI. Now we have code supersaturation, data hoarding, and silo construction at scale. So maybe I should say it's not humans, but rather human behaviour that ruins your IT estate. As the old joke goes, to err is human, but it takes a computer to really mess things up.
Welcome everyone to Toolkit Tuesday, special edition. Thank you for joining us wherever you are in the world. My thanks as ever to Paul Homan for his EA Minute. Always thought-provoking stuff. Thank you, Paul. And we really do appreciate wherever you are joining us from, that you're taking the time out to do that. So please do let us know in the chat channel where you're joining us from and any other comments for any other attendees today. But from a housekeeping point of view for questions for our presenters today, please do put those in the Q&A channel if you can. And if you can't see the Q&A channel, then look for the three little dots in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen. Click on there and that will give you the opportunity to enter the Q&A section. And then that's for questions. Everything else, please do put that in the chat channel. And today we have the topic of strategic alignment with ArchiMate and open standards, enhancing digital portfolio. And our presenters today, I'm delighted to introduce, they're both colleagues of mine at the Open Group. We have Sonia Gonzalez, who is the Digital Portfolio Manager with the Open Group. She has over 30 years of experience as a business and enterprise architecture consultant in different fields and industry verticals. Her professional experience as a project manager includes leading highly effective teams and applying different frameworks, best practices, and tools. And joining Sonia today is Kelly Cannon, the ArchiMate Forum Director here at the Open Group. Kelly's focus is to lead teams to reach their deliverables whilst never losing sight of the customer. And under her leadership, she has led the ArchiMate Forum with the current release of ArchiMate 3.2, as well as the ArchiMate user community. So, without further ado, I will hand over to our presenters today, Sonia Gonzalez and Kelly Cannon. Welcome, both of you.
Thank you very much for that kind welcome, Steve. And also we have Kelly here. So like Steve was saying, we're going to discuss here today the strategic alignment with ArchiMate and open standards to enhance digital portfolios. And I think for this topic to be important is also key to understand why architecture is so essential to perform digital transformation. It is precisely that allow handle change and to handle complexity. So this is a quote from Mr. John Sackman, who's actually the creator of the Enterprise Architecture as a practice. So that's a very important thing to have in mind regarding enterprise architecture. Regarding digital transformation and in general, how the world is changing, as you know, we have trends like artificial intelligence, automation, the cloud, sustainability, security, the metaverse, and trading, electronic trading, and others that are shaping the way the world is behaving now. And for that, in order to handle this digital economy, we need to have enablers. And some of these are, for example, having the right digital infrastructure, digital governance on that, emerging technology and making a good use of that, to have digital skills in our companies. Data is essential, especially if we want to take advantage of artificial intelligence, and in general to pursue digital transformation. So in order to do this digital transformation, we need to have several things into consideration. One of them is first having a digital strategy to align with for corporate strategy with these two trends that we are seeing now. Understand the customer, who's our customer, understand which one of the digital offerings, the digital products that these customers are demanding from us, and which one should be the infrastructure on this digital backbone and digital technologies that should be able to support this digital offering. Also, we need to shape our organizational design differently. A more, at least hierarchy organization is the one that we need to have, a more dynamic one. And that's aligned with having a good workforce management with new skills and capabilities to offer new value proposition for these digital products and portfolios. And of course, data management is essential for this, to know our customer and to be able to offer and to innovate in the offering of digital products. And also all of these should be sustainable, scalable, and with the right flexibility between governance and balance. So you may be wondering how we are going to do all this and at the same time keeping the day-to-day operation. So the response is you need to start small, keeping the holistic view, and in other more colloquial words, how to eat your elephant, you eat that in pieces. And that's why where enterprise architecture makes the appearance, because it's the one that will allow you to in a more systematic way handle flexibility, handle change in continuous alignment with the strategy, to keep this systemic view in alignment with your strategy. So as you know, enterprise architecture is in the center of all this. It allows you to have a clear connection with your strategy and to conform your digital strategy. It gives you the facility to understand customer centricity, to be able to understand your customer and design a good customer journey, to be able to have the right data and to understand the different building blocks that compose your company, to be able to become agile at the same time, to innovate, to have data analytics that will be essential to profile your customer and also to take advantage of new technology like artificial intelligence, to be able to have integration. Remember that seamless integration, having one version of the truth is essential to make digital transformation. Of course, governance, compliance are essential topics of this, and to be able to understand this complexity, to be able to make this jump from the assist state to the to be state, and at the same time keeping the profitability and your business objective in mind. This is an example also. We are going to talk a lot about ArchiMate today. And as you know, ArchiMate is one of the standards and languages to represent your company in alignment with enterprise architecture. This is an example of a view, one of the views that we have in ArchiMate, in which you can connect and have traceability from your strategy all the way to your implementation technologies. In all of that, you can identify the different relationship. That's why ArchiMate is so essential to depict your company, to address complexity, and therefore conduct your digital transformation. So incrementally evolve and change to adapt, like I was saying initially, to have this flexibility. So EA, as you know, is essential in this. When you make enterprise architecture, first you start your digital strategy. In this case, you understand where you are, and for that you can use ArchiMate to depict that. You understand where you are going, where you want to be, which is become your as-is and your to-be architecture. You partition your strategy using the strategy that we have in the TOGAF standard. You design your iteration cycles using, for example, the TOGAF ADM along with agility, and using other standards of the open agile architecture, you create those different building blocks in which you combine this agility with product management, with events management, with operational architecture, and also confirming this new value stream structure that will allow you to change your organization to address precisely all this complexity. Customer insight, like we were saying, is essential. So we have several standards into this portfolio of digital open standards. Like Steve was saying, all of our standards are powerful, but whenever they are used together, they become even more powerful. So you can have a clear understanding of how to profile and have data management using the several series guides that we have in the TOGAF Standard 10 edition. We can have these building blocks to operate your company with this new way of thinking using the open agile architecture. You can also experiment to co-create and to create this different digital product with your customers and segment your personas using standards. Also has ArchiMate that are very useful to represent your company and conduct workshops that will allow you to understand your customers. And also information and organizational mapping are essential to precisely have this profiling and get to know what your customer wants. The other essential element that we explained at the very beginning when we talk about what we need to have to really pursue digital transformation is to have this operational backbone, which is like the skeleton, the basic, the backbone, the foundation that will allow you to really become digital, to face the digital economy in an organized way. So you need to integrate your company end to end. And for that, of course, using enterprise architecture and ArchiMate has a modeling notation is essential. You need to have your information visible and shared, and it needs to be reliable. So you need to be able to handle your data in a reliable way. You need to be able to offer this operational backbone to integrate data, processes, and information in a consistent way. And we need to have your organization in a more flexible structure, like the structure that we see here, that is one of the open agile architecture pieces of content. We show you how you go from a hierarchy to a structure that is more based on cross-functional teams that are more agile and have more cross collaboration. And of course, business process automation and having one version of the truth are essential components of the TOGAF standard. So what it is digital portfolio? What is what we mean with a digital portfolio, and why it's essential for digital transformation? And for that, we need to distinguish what it is, a digital product and a digital platform. A digital product is that thing you offer to your customers. Either if you are a completely digital company like Uber or Netflix, or if you are a physical company, a company that distributes physical goods using digital means, you always have a digital product and digital offering. And we are talking about the digital portfolio, this collection of content, in our case, the collection of standards that we have in the portfolio that allow you to first leverage your brand, showcase your work, and offer this digital platform that will allow us not only to present these standards in a way that it could be easy to be used, cross-connected, cross-linked, but also to be able to deliver standardized code in a more agile way, which is another use case. And this digital portfolio allows us also to have metrics, dashboard that will allow us to measure how efficient we are. And of course, everything needs to be along with marketing and brand, because one of the benefits of having a digital portfolio is to precisely leverage your brand. And digital portfolio and digital transformation, this is summarizing what I just said. Sometimes when we use the word digital portfolio, we tend to believe that we're referring only to things related with marketing assets, and that is true in a way, but also we can offer any product in the digital portfolio as soon as they are integrated in a proper way to pursue digital transformation. Like I was saying before, they are showcasing your digital skills and competencies. They have this growing effect on platform, allow you to monetize your visitors and your traffic, to manage your digital asset like product, to build your identity, your brand, to leverage data and analytics, to be more agile and to innovate, and also to pursue more collaboration and networking. One very good example of this is platform like, for example, Uber, in which the more drivers you have, the more demand for rides, and then the platform is growing on its own. So that's also another advantage of the digital portfolio to pursue this growing effect. What about the Open Group portfolio of digital open standards? This is a collection of the open standards that is following this vision to position the Open Group as the premier source for open standards in the digital world. So in order to do that, what we have in the portfolio is we have standards like the TOGAF standard, the ArchiMate standard, we have guides, we have the Open Agile Architecture, the IT for IT standard, and also we have several guides. And we are also going to offer soon the TOGAF standard also in this platform. We have this digital platform that is suitable for you to cross-link between the standards and to source content on it. Cross-collaboration is essential for us because this content is provided by us, by our members, and cross-collaboration is a key essential piece for that. And also, although this is more technical, we are offering this digital platform called, which is conformed with two open source, GitLab and ASCII, which will allow us not only to present the content, but also to deliver standardized code in a more agile way. This is again a summary of the standard that we have. We also have the case study collection, which is also another addendum of the portfolio that is presenting the real case experiences from our users, how you can really use in practical ways these standards. And this is the news. We have a new release that it was ready in time for the Houston event 2 weeks ago. And in this new release, we have a couple of very important ArchiMate guides, and also we have showcase a new case study. And now to talk a little bit about ArchiMate, I'm going to give you the control, Kelly, so you can explain more about ArchiMate.
Thank you, Sonia. I appreciate that. So we are currently working on a feedback campaign. So what that means is that we have taken the ArchiMate 3.2 specification and we are allowing members and non-members to contribute feedback against the current version. We have two ways of taking feedback. The first one is going to be through the digital edition that Sonia was just speaking about. And that is where you can go into the document on the top right corner of the page. You can find an option to submit feedback on any of the content that is displayed on that version. The other is going to be discussing any topics that of detail. So we have the ArchiMate user community, and this is where you're going to bring any of the topics that have a lot of potential for discussion. So on here, you can see that we are accepting this feedback until December 1st, but the ArchiMate forum members are, a group of them are going to be actually meeting face-to-face next week to discuss the ones we've already received. So this one here is showing you what it looks like in the ArchiMate community. So you will find already topics that have been brought up by other either members or contributors from the overall community as a whole. And as you read through some of these issues that have been raised, if you have additional feedback or thoughts that you would like to add to those issues that have already been presented, absolutely feel free to add additional comments into those. If you have a new topic that you would like to raise, we are more than happy to receive it. And going over what the potential timeline and impact would look like. So right now, obviously we are in November, so we are going to be having that face-to-face meeting next week to start reviewing the content that we've already received. We'll probably continue to need to review all of that through December and start to put together the new version of what the document could potentially look like. Then that is when the forum takes over most of the control, and they will be doing what is called a forum review. A forum review is when all of the members have the option to review the changes that have been made within the document and determine whether or not this is ready to move forward into the next step. And as it continues through the publication process, it may change. The timeline is definitely fluid. It is dependent on a lot of variables, most of them being the availability of members. So if you or your organization is interested in becoming a member and partaking in what the open group and the ArchiMate forum in particular are doing within any of our standards, absolutely, reach out to our business development team and get it. We would love to have you. There also will be discussions around the interoperability testing and the evaluation of the certification team. At this point, we don't know if this is going to be a major or minor release. We really don't know until we actually start looking into the comments that are received through this initial feedback campaign, and then any additional ones that we receive once we start updating the document. So stay tuned for more information on that. And then the other big news is that the Open Group is going to be hosting a face-to-face summit in Amsterdam next May. So you can see the dates that are listed on here, and the ArchiMate Forum is looking to get as many people involved as possible. So if you're not familiar with ArchiMate, ArchiMate initially originated in the Netherlands region. So it's kind of almost like a homecoming for us. So we really looking forward to having a lot of thought leaders from the community come and join us at this event. We are looking to put together a couple of presentations and track sessions related to ArchiMate, and hopefully we will have some updates or maybe even a publication to release at that time with this standard. So if you are interested, once again, please feel free to reach out to business development and join us in this activity. And we would love to have you at the event in Amsterdam as well. So the last slide that Sonia has here is a good one, and so I'll hand it back over to her.
Yeah, thank you very much, Kelly, for that. Very interesting roadmap for ArchiMate. Looking forward to that and to the new version. And again, just a closing remark from her before that coming together is a beginning, but keeping together is progress. So working together is success. In this case, that applies to our standards and products. So use them together, try them, use them either in the library or both or in the digital portfolio because they are really powerful and they will support for sure your digital transformation efforts.
Okay, thank you, ladies. We do have one question here for Kelly. Might be possible to show for us the actual status of ArchiMate Patterns Library, actual content?
Yes. So Lubos, I actually just put it in the chat. There's a link to the ArchiMate community site where we are accepting patterns. So if you have an ArchiMate pattern that you would like to share with the rest of the world, absolutely feel free to submit it to us on that page right there. It gives you details on how you can submit that for a group to review it before it gets posted. And we would love to have it. This is something that should be fluid and including, any other details that you guys can share for us.
Great stuff. Thank you, Sonia. Thank you, Kelly. Covered a lot of ground in a short period of time, much to get through, of course. But we really appreciate you taking us on this journey. The ArchiMate modeling language really is so flexible and such a great help for anyone using open standards and carrying out their day jobs. That's what we like to see here at Toolkit Tuesday. So this has once again been a Toolkit Tuesday special edition. My thanks to Kelly and Sonia again, and to all of you for joining us today. Our next special edition will be on December the 10th with a subject to be announced. So watch this space for that. Thank you for your interest in the Open Group and Toolkit Tuesday, and take care and be safe wherever you are. Bye for now.